Alright, hi everyone. I'm just taking a quick break from my tutorials. I thought I'd show you a project that I've been working on for a very short period of time. This is the way I do things in 3D. I kind of sketch things in 3D. So this is kind of like my storyboard sketch, but I do it in 3D, and I do it so I can define the colors the way I want it in advance. And this model is literally just sketched out, because if you look closely at the features here, half the lip is missing, the eye socket's not in place, it's just kind of sketched in. I tend not to work like a typical sculptor artist does, so you certainly don't want to follow my examples for this kind of work. I do this for a particular reason. When I work with this, I tend to actually sculpt each face of the mesh individually, a little bit at a time. It's just kind of like the way I like to work, a lot of little details. So this will take me several months to complete this basic model. But the reason I'm doing it is because I need models for my games and my simulators. The Tornado simulator has to have people within it, and I need it for some educational products as well that I'm working on. But I like to define the colors and the kind of overall feature of everything in advance. And I mean, you can even see the hair is only halfway on the head because I haven't applied the mesh because I'm working in mirror mode. And what's nice about this is, even though I'm working in Blender render, then I can go into Blender's rendered mode to see what it's like there. This helps me see where my shadows are when I'm defining it as I go. And then I can work in Cycles mode too, because if Cycles is the eventual render, it kind of just gives me a good idea all along of what it's going to look like as I go, and especially in particular with Cycles, because this is the general colors I'm using for this particular model. But you can see what's cool about Cycles, you can see the color right there along her chin and jaw like this, and so that really helps change the dynamics of how this works. And I haven't done anything to the lips yet, or I need some gloss on the lips, and I have to work on the whole upper lip, and I have to work on the nose, and I have to work on everything. It literally is just a basic implementation, so I can get I do it so I can get the proportions the way I want it and the general look of the character. And then if you look at, I'll show you the face up close. When I go into here, you can see why you really don't want to do this kind of work the way I'm doing it. So, I mean, I do have edge loops in here, though. Let's see if I go into this. You can see I have certain edge loops for it, but my intent is not to texture these objects. So the way a lot of people work, and I agree generally for what they do, is some people do a general sculpting of, they take a regular object, maybe a oval shape, and they sculpt it in sculpt mode, which I've done some sculpting in here as well, but I don't use all the sculpting tools. And then they do a retopology of the mesh and lay the polygons over the top of it. But I tend to work a little bit differently. Sometimes I'll just start with kind of an outline and then just kind of start adding these polygons as I go. So what will happen with my work is that sometimes the mesh gets distorted and I might not be able to unwrap it like a regular texture, but that's not really such an issue for me, because I'm not doing it for production reasons. I'm just doing it for my tutorials. And like I said, I tend not to texture a lot of my objects, even in the Tornado simulator scene and in the 3D Time Machine Warrior tutorial. I'm not using textures in there. I tend to like to paint things with lights, and since the computers are getting faster, I can ignore textures in a lot of cases. Not in all cases, of course. That's just kind of an idea. Just kind of give you an idea of what I'm working on for the future. It's got a boatload of work to go, of course, as you can tell, right? But it kind of gives me the basics of what I want to do, and yeah, okay. And then I'm going to get back to the regular tutorials after this video. All right, see you then.